three massive transfer stories to bring you today, which, if some of these could be done in January, the title race could be flipped upside down, or in fact, run away with, in my opinion. A lot of work is now going on ahead of the January 26th window, but of course with an eye for the summer as well. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that hype button for us also. But it does appear, according to the news cycles, that both Arsenal and Liverpool, who both have massive summers, are not yet done when it comes to building their squads, not yet done when it comes to spending money to improve. And this, for me, will be ridiculed by haters. This will be ridiculed by people that want to tear them down, but it's the exact and most correct way for them to behave. And I want to start with Liverpool. And I saw this story, a big one, posted by Dave OC Cop, that says Liverpool are to hold direct club talks with Crystal Palace over a potential move for Adam Wharton to join Liverpool. Now, of course, what will be sourced in all of these stories when the journalists are out there is Liverpool will be pushing for this move to happen as soon as possible. Crystal Palace will say they're open to conversations. They will set a price range. Sometimes you don't. We saw Brighton in the summer with Belieber. They just wouldn't give a price range. This sometimes happens, but by and large, football clubs will set an idea of pricing to say it's going to cost X, Y, or Z to get this deal done. That will happen. But of course, what Palace will also do is play this down and say it's going to be a summer move. If it happens, it will not be a January move. But we've seen these things not always play out in this way before. It says that early days and any transfer is expected to be next summer. Wharton is believed to be keen on a move to Anfield. And of course, this is bad news when it comes to Chelsea, that have him very high on their priority list. But that's also why you can't rule off something happening in January, depending upon the money that Chelsea and or Liverpool have available. And I think the one area that Chelsea will feel confident in is when it comes to battling for players. Forget the outcomes. Caicedo's been amazing and Lavia hasn't hit the heights that people expected. Chelsea have a knack of beating rival clubs to the signings of players. Clearlake have demonstrated an appetite and a desire to spend huge. So for me, this all comes down to who's going to put the most amount of money up for the player and who is going to offer the best terms. And those terms, yes, include salary, bonuses, but it's also playing time and how quickly they want the deal to be done. So I think Wharton, I think the midfielders in general in football at the moment, Wharton, Elliot Anderson, you've got João Gomez, Belieber, all their clubs keep saying the summer. But I just have, and it's purely a fan theory, no inside information. I'm not pretending to be in the know. I've got a feeling one or two might move in the January. Of course, the sellers, the vendors will say no. They're trying to push the price up as high. But let me give you an example with Crystal Palace. I know they want to win the Conference League. Of course they do. I know they want to try and secure a Champions League spot. Absolutely. But the money is key. A big part of the business models of the Crystal Palaces, the Brightons, is to sell their best players for a huge profit to keep reinvesting into their squad. Why? No matter how big the TV money, no matter how much the prize money for maybe a handful of trophies they can win, it's going to be eclipsed by that of the sale of a Wharton at 80, 90, 100 million pounds. And if it's felt they can get the most amount of money into January and somebody's willing to do it, why would they not act? Now, in terms of the football, Adam Wharton going into Liverpool could be something huge for them this season. If Liverpool are not too far behind Arsenal, not too far behind Manchester City, he is a game changer. And this is also coupled with another story that's come out regarding Liverpool, that Liverpool view Bayern Munich's Michael Olise as the lead candidate to replace Mo Salah and are prepared to break the bank to sign the French forward. Other possible replacements include Minter, Bowen, Gordon, Semenyo, Malik Fofana, and of course we've mentioned Michael Olise. Now, I don't personally see that deal. Olise is not going to leave Bayern Munich in January. There is no doubt about it. But it's an important story to look at because there's a lot of rumours that Semenyo is very high up on the list as well. Now, Semenyo is seen more of a left-sided attacker. But if they want Olise, are they going to get both? One in the January, one in the summer? Are they going to get both in the summer? I don't know. We saw Liverpool go out and spend £420 million last summer To land both of those players, both Semenyo and Olise, you are easily looking at anywhere between 150 to 200 million pound on those two players. You look at the Adam Wharton link as well. Could Liverpool be about to go at it again? Could Liverpool look at it and go, right, hasn't quite gone the way we want, but we know it's going to click at some point. We need more though. Get Adam Wharton for 80 million, get Semenyo for 70 million, and maybe go out and get Olise for that 100. Then you've got the left wing, you've got the future of the right wing sorted, plus a different dynamic, a different type of central midfield player to come in and knit things together. Can you see Liverpool spending that way? Do you believe there's any validity to these stories? When do you see these potential transfers happening? And how much better do you think it would make Liverpool? Could you potentially sit on the other side of this argument, which is actually they need to maybe bring a few players through the academy. Spending is not what's needed right now. More integration is needed. Everyone's going to have a different thought. Everyone's going to have a different feeling on this, but I want to know what yours are in the comments section below right now. News here from AFC Extra, and that is that Antoine Semenyo prefers a move to Arsenal over any other club in England. Now, this is on the back of the story we spoke about on our main channel, on my main channel, the Football Terrace, over the course of the weekend. That it's reported there is a £70 million buyout clause in Semenyo's contract. Now, Fabrizio Romano, of the briefings from Bournemouth, have said that Bournemouth have no desire, no intention of selling the player in January. And I think Bournemouth are telling the truth. But you have to remember what they've said here, and that is no intention. There's a few things that I think could happen this January. And I think Semenyo, far more than Olise, by the way, I think there is almost, I would give 1% chance of Olise moving because of what Bayern Munich are trying to achieve. But when I look, for instance, at Bournemouth, one, let's see where they are. Are they genuinely in the fight for a Champions League spot? That could play a part. But also, who wants Semenyo now? Who wants him in the summer? Clubs like Arsenal may look at this and go, look, there's a buyout clause of 70 million. And Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, there'll definitely be some interest from the continent, are all going to come in for him. And although we might be the front runners, yes, he might want to join us right now. The world can change. The world can change. We all know this. We've seen it before with transfers. Caicedo was pushing very hard to become, for instance, an Arsenal player, ends up being a Chelsea player. And there's multiple reasons for that. But he didn't end up going where he was pushing to go to in the January before that summer. And this is where I think you may see a club like Arsenal. You may even see a club like Liverpool do this. Go, listen, Bournemouth, we know that you don't want to sell him now. There's a release clause in the summer, 70, 75 million. How about we do a deal? How about we go slightly over that amount? Now, Chelsea Football Club have set the precedent with this by spending above buyout clauses. One, to be able to amortize that payment and spread it over time, but also to convince the selling club to go to them overall because they're going to get more money. And in case you are new to the content we make, when you sell a player, it doesn't matter if you receive the money in installments. On your trading accounts, your profit and loss accounts, which is all that matters when it comes to PSR and when it comes to FFP, because net spend is not the calculation. Say you get 90 million, but you're not going to receive all that money for 5 years. You get to show on your trading accounts that 90 million in as an income straight away. So for a lot of football clubs, that helps them be able to reinvest quicker than even if they sold for 70 million and had the cash on day one, it would only show as 70 million. That's an extra 20 million pound they can then amortize, which might equate to an extra 50, 60 million being spent in the transfer window. So I look at this, and I'm not playing down any of the journalists. We work with many of them, really good people. They're going to tell you what the clubs are saying. As a fan, though, I think this is going to be a big January. The reason I feel that is it's a very close league. I think a lot of clubs are going to think to themselves, can we create an advantage? Can we create a dichotomy? Can we create a difference between us and our competitors now, even if it's an extra 10 million, 15, 20 million? Because from their perspective, it's a case of spend an extra 20 million pound on a player now that we would in the summer, we might make the Champions League. From Arsenal's perspective, we might win the Champions League. We might win the Premier League. That prize money covers it. Equally, you might be a Palace, you might be a Bournemouth and go, it's going to be hard for us to make it into the Champions League, period. Yes, that would be an extra 50, 60, 70 million. And then we can still sell the asset if we have to. We can still sell the player. But if we get that extra 20, 30 million now, that's a nice halfway house. Because they're going to, by the way, Palace, Brighton, Bournemouth, they're losing these players anyway. Barring injury, they're all going to go anyway. So there's a really interesting kind of debate internally for them. But as ever, you're one of the best communities in the world. I can't wait to read your comments below. How big do you think these transfers would be for Liverpool? And should Arsenal, if it's true that Semenyo only wants them, if they've got that advantage, should they act now? Pay a little extra? Should they wait till the summer? How do you see it? What's the best options and outcomes in your personal opinion? Let us know in the comment section below. Take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you soon.